I'm going to tell you that the secret to success is to love yourself, because self-love and love, the emotion, is the highest frequency. Once you have that strong, powerful relationship with yourself, you are unstoppable. You have peace here. You go and look for shit, looking for happiness. You ain't going to find it. It's right here. It's here. What's up, everyone? How you doing? Welcome to another episode on the Luke Mind Power podcast. I'm tuning in live all across the globe, all across the world, eh? Like there's people from so many countries. When I've looked at my account on Spotify, and it shows me where all the episodes are being, all the podcasts are being aired, and people are listening like freaking everywhere, which is crazy. And I guess this is the power of technology and connecting with people, which is amazing, because there's so many people stream on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. It's amazing. It's a blessing to be alive, guys. I hope you're doing amazing. It's so good to be here with you. If you're tuning in on whichever platform you are, I know Spotify now has video, and if you're tuning in on YouTube as well, I'm on YouTube. So if you don't, if you like watching YouTube, just go to Luke Mind Power on YouTube, and you can listen and watch. All my episodes are via video now, which is really cool. So again, all of this stuff that I have to do, like I need a team, I need help. But guess what? At the beginning of the journey, when you're starting out, whatever business it is, it may not be including social media, but you have to start small. You have to start by yourself. You know, don't be afraid to be a beginner, right? A lot of people in life, they never start their dream because they don't want to be seen at the bottom. And it's like, okay, so what? You're going to sacrifice your dreams and your purpose and what you want to do because you don't want to be seen at the bottom, right? And it's like, nah, man. I remember when I was when I went to China to live in the Shaolin Temple, and yeah, it was a pretty odd thing to do. It's like, why would you go there? But I felt the calling, you know. I was like, I have to go there, right? And live in the temple, live with the Kung Fu warrior monks. You know, I was inspired by Bruce Lee, and I was like, wow, imagine going and trying to learn Kung Fu. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. So I ended up going there back in 2019, November, and I stayed there just after COVID started until February. It was a little bit intimidating. It was a new experience. That the way that you grow in your life is by doing things that you've never done before. You want a life you've never lived before, you got to do stuff you've never done before. And that's the out of your comfort zone experience, constantly doing that. If you eventually feel like you're staying stagnant or you're not moving and you're not growing, then you have to ask yourself the question. And I'll be honest, like recently I've felt that I'm gone into a bit of stagnation, comfort zone. And I've had to make some pretty powerful decisions that are going to change my whole life. I will share those with you as they come to surface. But again, don't be afraid of change. Be afraid of staying the same, and be afraid of being in the same place in 12 months' time, looking back and going, oh my gosh, what's happened to my life? What am I doing? And I remember going to China, and it was freaking, I didn't know that, you know, it's Kunming. I've never been to Kunming before, and nothing is in English. And it's like, how do I get to this Shaolin Temple? And I'm in the taxi and I don't know where I am. And I've only got the piece of address because it's all in Chinese, and I had to get it because obviously they gave me all the information. I just got a taxi. I said, yeah, here, take me to this place. And then I got out of the cab, and he's pointing at the temple, and I'm still looking. I don't know where I am, you know. I walk in there, and I'm walking into this, like, it's kind of like the Vatican Square, you know, there's big temples around and stuff. And you know what I'm trying to say? It was this big area, like it's like markets and people everywhere. And I didn't know where to go. And I ended up walking up the stairs of this temple because I'm trying to figure out, where am I going? And this is part of your success, part of your life, part of your dreams. You don't know. You're not supposed to know how it's going to work. You're supposed to just walk. You're supposed to walk, take action, trust the process, have faith that it's all going to work in your favor, and everything's going to come to you, but you have to be willing to take the risk, you know. And that was definitely out of my comfort zone. I was like, where am I? I don't know where to go. I don't know who to talk to. And so I walked up the stairs, and there was the master, the Shifu. He saw me, and, you know, obviously he's a tall white dude. Everybody else is, you know, pretty much Chinese. So yeah, you could pretty much tell that, you know, this dude is here for coming to the Shaolin Temple to learn Kung Fu, right? So he saw me and he's like, Kung Fu, the school or whatever? And I said, yeah. And so he helped me, right? And so it's the same thing. I'm using this as a metaphor. Along your journey, when you start growing, when you start becoming a better version of yourself, you're going to realize that there's things in your life that you're going to have to let go of. And you're not letting go of them because you hate them. You're letting go of them because you need more space. You need more space, more time for yourself to develop and grow. And then there's this fear of losing people, the fear of not being available for people anymore, the fear of what you had, letting go of that, okay? And you feel selfish as well and all that kind of stuff, right? But that's part of the uncomfortable journey of evolution. And so the Shifu seeing me, the master, right, the Kung Fu boss, him seeing me and then pointing me in the right direction and helping me go to the correct temple was like all of these amazing, extraordinary earth angels that I am attracting into my life as I'm getting to this higher vibration right now. Because let me tell you guys, I have some amazing people that are on my team, that are supporting me. I can't do this by myself. But it wasn't always like this. The first couple of years, I had to struggle. I had to push. I had to believe in myself. I had to show up for myself. You only get what you work your for. And now that I have put in the time and the energy and I've showed up, guess what? Everything is coming to me, man. I'm attracting the right energy. I'm attracting the right people. I'm attracting the right angels, right? I call them earth angels that are coming into my life to lift me up, to take me to where I'm supposed. I'm a phoenix, you know? I'm a phoenix rising. But you can't do it by yourself, man. And the right people will come into your fucking life. Okay? Don't hold on to the old shit because the old shit ain't going to take you to where you're supposed to go. And so just like the Shifu found me at the temple and pointed me in the right direction and said, hey, this way, right? You're also going to have people in your life that are going to come in your life, just like me. I'm coming into your life right now to point you in the right direction, to inspire you, to motivate you, to show you what's possible. Because I didn't know that this was possible for me until I started to believe in myself, love myself, show up for me, take action and not quit. Okay, there's going to be challenges, there's going to be struggles, there's going to be adversity, there's going to be all that shit. It's part of your life. But guess what? That's where you build your character. That's where you become freaking extraordinary. Without going through the struggle, the pain, the challenges, you won't be able to handle the shit that's up ahead for you. That's the fact. So get comfortable being uncomfortable. Get comfortable being in a shit scenario right now. Get comfortable being not where you want to be, okay? Because this is so important for you right now. You got to go through this shit. That's where you really grow. And I remember walking into that temple and looking around and I was like, can I even learn this shit? And I saw the students that were like practicing their Kung Fu forms and they were all wearing the uniform, you know, and I felt out of place. And I was immediately just looking at everybody thinking to myself, could I really learn this? Like, is this really possible? And as soon as I got comfortable and I got my room, which I was sharing with a dude called Zanoon from the UK. He was a doctor and he was the funniest dude. Like he would wake up every morning and he'd be like, because we just had this vibe, you know, and it was so good because I always bring this positive energy. I always bring this positive mindset. My energy is contagious. And basically I infiltrated everybody else's energy and their beings into becoming really positive, right? And everybody was feeding off my positivity, even my roommate. So every morning we would wake up and he would wake up and he'd be like, I'd ask him, I said, Zanoon, how are you? And he's like, oh, fantastic. Every day. Okay, no matter what it was 6:30 in the morning, 6 a.m., I would say, hey, Zanoon, how you doing? Oh, fantastic. Every day, no matter how you felt, you still said, oh, I'm fantastic. And it became a joke, right? Because then we would have to line up at 7 o'clock because we would all line up and then we'd walk in one line to go have breakfast at the other temple. And so when we would get to the lineup before the Shifus and the masters would come and we'd all have to count. How do I count in Chinese again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, something like that, right? And because we did it. It was repetition, right? But let me just share what I'm getting at here is that when we would line up to wait for the masters to come, we would be talking and we would be saying, "Oh, how are you?" Like, "Hey, how are you?" And everyone would be like, "Oh, I'm amazing. Oh, I'm amazing. Oh, fabulous. I'm fantastic. Oh, it's a blessing to be alive." And so this energy and mindset and the way of speaking, basically everybody started doing it. And so if you can imagine why I learned so much living in the Shaolin Temple is because the environment changed my life. The people changed my life. And that's why I'm so passionate about continuing to tell you about how important your environment is. Your people, the people that you surround yourself with, they will either drain you or they will lift you up. And I learned that so much in the Shaolin Temple, living there, because the people, as we started to connect and have this kind of like this joke of like just being silly and sarcastic, it turned into like affecting us really in a really positive way because we were always so happy. It's a very simple life, you know. The internet wasn't working. The toilets, you had to squat to go to the toilet. Freaking, I was sleeping on a wooden bed. Had mosquito nets and shit to run away from the mosquitoes. But it was uncomfortable, but eventually it got comfortable. Yeah, I had to stretch every day. We had 6 hours of training each day, Monday to Friday. But the environment and the people, we made it fun. We made it positive. And every morning we were like, "How are you?" And we're like, "Oh, I'm amazing. I'm fantastic." And Zanoon, every morning I would be like, "How you doing, man?" He's like, "I'm fantastic." And he's like, "How about you?" I go, "I'm amazing." So it's contagious. Positivity is contagious. And no matter what you're going through, if you can change the way you think and start to see the silver lining in every single situation or circumstance that you're going through, it's going to help you to navigate yourself in the right direction in a really positive way. But don't get it twisted and don't be ignorant. If you're in some sort of negative relationship or something in your life right now that is not supporting your growth or happiness, don't just sit there and not do anything. You have to take some action to get yourself out of an environment that isn't healthy. Otherwise, nothing changes, right? But anyway, going back to the whole experience and why I started talking about, you know, a lot of people don't want to start taking action or living their dreams because they don't want to be seen. They don't want to be seen starting at the bottom, right? And people are afraid to be a beginner. We're so used to the things that we've been doing so far in our life for so many years that anything other than what we've been doing is scary. It's unfamiliar. It's uncomfortable. And there's resistance to change, okay? Your paradigm, that is your group of habits that you basically unconsciously live with every single day, is so strong and powerful that in order for you to change, it does take a process. It takes courage. It takes action. It takes surrounding yourself with the right people, because mentally you get overwhelmed. Mentally, it's not possible. Mentally, it's too hard. Your mind will resist change all the time. So while I was living there, the first quote, if you scroll down on my Instagram, I've got the whole journey there. So you can go and have a look, and you go down on my Instagram page and go down to 2019, November, and you will see all the posts that I posted from living in the Shaolin Temple in China. And one of the first posts was, "Don't be afraid to be a beginner." And why I posted that was because when I first got there, I was doubting myself that I could even learn Kung Fu, that I could even do this. One day at a time, stretching every single day, running around the temple, exercising, standing on these bars, like area that we would go to. And there's like all these, it's like if you look from afar, it would look like there's these metal rods sticking out of the ground. And we would have to stand on one foot on all these different like metal rods. And we'd have to walk around them, and we'd have to jump from one foot with only one leg to the next one, to the next one, to the next one, and keep our balance. And some of these metal rods would go higher and higher. And so you had to have really good balance and like really good energy, focus to be able to not fall off. So there was just so many things that we did. And, you know, obviously, you know, learning about the energy of the sun and meditation and gratitude. There was so many amazing, and just the people, the people changed it. If you want to actually listen to some of the interviews that I did when COVID happened, we were basically locked in the temple. And so the public normally had access to the temple, and they would come in and they'd watch us while we're training. And so they had to close the temple to the public because everybody was, confined to their apartments and houses. They couldn't come out, right? Because it was a lockdown. And so I took it upon myself, and I went up to the master and I said, look, would it be okay if I set up my camera and I interviewed all the students? And so that's what I started to do, is I basically got everyone. I asked everyone if they would be interested. And then one by one, I interviewed all of the students in the Kung Fu, in the Shaolin Temple. And if you go onto my YouTube channel, if you scroll down to the bottom, 2019, you will see all those interviews. Just reflecting on that and sharing that with you guys, when you do things you've never done before, you create a new mind, a new way of thinking, a new level of self-awareness, a new level of gratitude for life. Remember that if you always do what you've always done, then don't expect any new results. Don't expect things to change if you keep doing the same shit. That's why, depending on when you're listening to this episode, that's why my plan in the forthcoming weeks, and maybe if you're listening to this in a couple of weeks, for example, I'll probably already be in Dubai. And so my plan is to surround myself with an environment that is very powerful, successful, uplifting, inspiring. And the reason why it's important to do that is if you want to level up, it's very hard for you to level up if you're in an environment that is on the same level as you, right? So all I'm doing is getting out of my comfort zone. I want to go to another country and experience a different culture and experience different people and surround myself with a different level of successful people. And so the reason why I'm doing that as well is because it's out of my comfort zone. It's something different. I've lived in Australia all my life. I'm not saying this is a bad place, but just because it's a good place doesn't mean that other places around the world are not good as well. So your job is to create, okay? Your job is not to conform. Many of us are conforming to the expectations of your family, your friends, and the people that you love, and we're afraid of change. And so your job, again, is to create, not conform. And so you're the creator. You're the one that gets to decide, what do I want to create in my life? What am I trying to manifest? What am I trying to build? So don't be afraid to be a beginner. Start today. Start small, start simple, and learn as you go. Because the truth is, I didn't have it all figured out. I still don't have it all figured out. Sometimes, I get this from a brother-in-law. I go, bro, how do you do it? He goes, I don't know. I'm just doing it. So I take that on myself as well. And when you step into something that you're not familiar with, how do you get familiar with it? You do it. Okay. So I take you back to the Shaolin Temple again, and I look at some of those students that are doing the Kung Fu and they're like really good at it. And I'm like, man, how am I going to learn that? And then there was one particular form that, because we would be learning like all these different types of styles of Kung Fu. And it was like sometimes overwhelming because it's like, oh my God, I have to do this. And you're just repeating shit over and over and over and over again. But it made so much sense when I first heard this statement from Tony Robbins. It says, repetition is the mother of skill. Repetition is the mother. Okay, so repetition being the mum of whatever you're trying to be good at. And so what I learned was that the stuff I was doing was basically on repeat. I was learning every day, even stretching. I was stretching. We were stretching every day. I've never been flexible in my life. And all of a sudden, after a month of stretching every day, Monday to Friday, I became flexible. Like, what the hell? I'm freaking 6'2". I couldn't touch the floor. All of a sudden, I can touch the floor. And again, what is the whole basis of Kung Fu? Kung Fu means life. Kung Fu is everything in your life. It's balance. It's finding the flow, right? It's being grateful. Everyone thinks that Kung Fu is martial arts. It's fucking life. It's living a grateful life. It's living a balanced life. What I learned from so many parts of that experience is that when you do something over and over and over and over and over and over again, you get really good at it. But at the beginning, you're going to be shit. And so that's why most people don't even start, because you're like, oh, but I'm not going to be good enough. Of course you're not going to be good enough, because you've never done it before. Stop trying to expect that things are going to work out for you so easily, and freaking you're going to wake up one morning and all of a sudden someone planted a freaking chip in your brain and all of a sudden you can do everything that you want to do. It doesn't work like that. And even if it did, it wouldn't be fulfilling because you didn't fucking show up and do the work. So that's why it's important for you to start at the bottom, because you need to go through the process. You need to do the shit. You need to show up. You need to earn your place, right? You're not going to get a free ride. Okay, you think that you can just show up and everything's going to work out when you haven't gone through the process. Nah, man, you got to trust the process. You got to show up. You got to keep going. Everything will come to you when you keep going towards it. Like what I'm experiencing right now is sometimes blows my mind. I'm just like, oh my God, like the people that I'm attracting that are so healthy for me, you know, and I always talk, you know, surround yourself with people who are healthy for you, surround yourself with what brings you peace. And so that's the one thing I love about the people that I keep close to me, very close to me. They bring me peace. If you don't bring me peace, I'll let you out the door. I will open the door for you and go, yeah, see ya. Block, delete. Do whatever you have to do, man. Whatever's negative, whatever's toxic, whatever. Fucking block it, delete it, fucking whatever it takes. Don't sit there and feel guilty. I can't do this, I can't do that. Fuck it off. Like you need to hear it like that. Because otherwise you're just going to dawdle around life and just like freaking sacrifice your peace constantly because you're just scared to stand up for yourself. And it's like, nah, man, if you can't have that hard conversation with someone, well then fucking block them so you don't have to talk to them. You know how many times I've had freaking changed my number? I was actually just talking to my cousin and I got a message from her and I didn't even know the number. And she's like, hey, it's your cousin. And I'm talking to her. And then I said, have you changed your number? And she goes, nah, it's been this number for 15 years. And she's like, yeah, but you've changed your number. I go, yeah, I've changed it like 4 times in the last 5 years. Because why? Why do you think I've changed my number? So that no one calls me, so that I can have peace, so that I can be in control. Straight up. I don't sit here and be sorry that I don't talk to all these people that I used to talk to. I don't give a shit. My purpose is my priority. Okay? And if you can't understand that, that's okay. I will still keep doing what's best for me. I'll still keep showing up and doing what's right for me. Why? Because I have my own back. Why? Because I love myself the most. Everybody's always going to have an opinion, okay? Whether you do something right or whether you do something wrong, whether you become successful or you're fucking living in poverty, someone's going to have an opinion. Someone's going to say shit to you all the time about what you're doing wrong or what you should do better or what you should become or what you can't become. It's like, that. Who cares about people's opinions? Just do you. People are going to judge you anyway, regardless. They're always going to find something to freaking pinpoint. And that's why it's important to have a strong, powerful relationship with yourself, because when you got your back, you don't have to rely on no one's opinions. You don't have to rely on anyone's support. You be your own freaking booster. You be your own rocket. You're me, you're the best, right? That's what you have to tell yourself, because you can't wait for someone to come and save you, because ain't no one coming. Wait for your mom or your dad or someone to come and lift you up and say, hey, it's going to be all right. Sometimes you got to weather the storm yourself, man. Sometimes you got to take off that jacket and make it a umbrella because you don't have an umbrella. And sometimes that's just the case. It's going to be raining on your ass for a bit and you got to go through the rain. It's uncomfortable. You're going to get very wet, but eventually, guess what? Rainbow's going to come out. Sun's going to come out. These angels are going to come to lift you up, and you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm so glad I never gave up. I'm so glad I keep pushing. I'm so glad I kept walking through the rain. I'm so glad that I kept going through the thunderstorm and I never quit. I kept showing up for me, because on the other side of your fear and your doubt and you thinking that you're not capable, man, it's freaking good here. If I was to compare my life 5 years ago, 7 years ago versus my life now, and the freedom I have, the peace I have, the power I have because I believed in myself and I showed up for myself and I didn't sacrifice my peace for the benefit of other people. Man, I'm not living in the ego of, oh my God, look how many people I'm helping. It's not about that. I'm being authentic. I'm being Luke. I'm just showing up, being myself. I'm doing what I'm called to do, what my soul is calling me to do. I'm connected. Your job is to get reconnected with yourself. How do you get reconnected with yourself? You got to heal your shit, man. You got to remove the toxic shit. You got to remove yourself from anything that's negative, that lowers your energy. You came here on purpose. And I'm talking to you. I know you're watching me and I know you can hear me. That there is an assignment that's marked on your heart. And I know that you know. But so far, you've struggled to figure it out because of external circumstances, people, situations, everything that you've gone through thus far. You blocked yourself. But this is the moment that everything changes. The moment that you say yes, yes to me, yes to my healing, yes to my growth, yes to change, yes to knowing that I can become successful, I can heal my past, I can stop overthinking, I can be amazing, I can be powerful, I can get through this, I can grow. I'm here to be the example of that for you guys, because I had a very negative mindset all my life. But let me tell you that when you live with self-doubt and your insecurities and your fears year upon year upon year upon year, it really debilitates you. You lose your sense of self-worth. You don't feel good enough. You don't feel happy. And so how do you make yourself happy? Try to fit in, take steroids, take drugs, drink a lot of alcohol, do things that's out of your character because you want to fit in, buy nice things so that people see, oh my gosh, look at that handbag, or look at that nice car, or that watch that you've got. Because we all want to fit in. We all want to be part of the tribe. So in order to be part of the tribe, what are you got to do? You've got to try and become like the tribe. So you start doing shit that is out of who it is that you truly are. And what your job and your assignment, your divine assignment on your heart is to stand out. Your job is not to fit in. As I mentioned, your job is to create, not conform. You have a divine assignment on your heart. It's marked there. And your job is to come home and say yes. Yes to you. Yes to doing what's right for you. Not what's right for your in-laws, not what's right for your family, not what's right for your partner's family. If you think about what kind of a mind is going to cultivate, what kind of a mind do I need to have in order for me to achieve my dreams? You answer the question, should I have a positive mindset or should I have a negative mindset? The way I think, will it matter in how I achieve my goals and my dreams, or will I be limited because of the way that I think, because of what's in my mind? It's crazy to appreciate that your mind is a supercomputer and you're the one that gets to store the information in there every single day that actually continues to process. It's going all the time. As you're listening to this podcast, right? Your mind is taking in information. It's being conditioned and programmed and soaking in everything that I'm sharing with you. So imagine everything that you've soaked in over the years of watching TV, of watching the news, of maybe negative experiences that you've gone through, or being bullied or called names over years after years, right? Or just being in situations or in a workplace that was really toxic or unhealthy or negative, and you've continuously experienced that. So now mentally you're programmed in a specific way. And think of the amount of years. I think about the amount of years until I was 33. All those years of living, and I was unaware of the impact of the TV. Now, when I look at the news, I think to myself, yeah, I get it. Some people watch the news to stay updated with the stock exchange and sports, for example, whatever. But the question that I have for you is, if you're watching the news every day and you're looking at the wars and who got shot, how many people got killed in the school today, the car accident on freaking that freeway, and that plane crash, and this other person freaking falling off the 10th floor of the apartment. These stories are always so dramatic and negative. Now, you want to live a positive life. You want to live a successful life. You want to feel good about yourself, but you're constantly consuming negative information, right? It's not about pointing the finger and saying that, it's wrong, but it's just being aware that you become what you think. And if your thinking is wrong because of the amount of negative information that you're continuously watching, you ain't going to win, man. You're going to be living in fear. You're going to be living in doubt. It's no wonder why you're not living your dreams and you're living your fears, is because there's so much negative information. It's not just I'm insecure, I'm low on self-esteem because of maybe your emotional trauma or abandonment or the lack of love or whatever it was that happened in your childhood that has caused you to feel insecure, or you've got low self-confidence. That's just a piece of the pie. Now add on top of that all of the negative information that you've taken on from watching the news. That goes over on top of your low self-esteem and your low self-confidence, and that makes you think in a negative way. It's negative energy. It's really disempowering, and so you want to be conscious of that, because that's one of my secrets. That's why I'm so optimistic. I'm so positive, even when things are going challenging for me. I slow down, I focus on the present moment, and I stop myself and go, oh my gosh, there's this happening, this happening, this happening. How do I deal with it all? And it's like, well, you don't have to deal with it all. You just have to deal with one thing at a time, right? What is the next thing for you that you need to do? Okay? Because in order for you to achieve everything that you're trying to achieve, it ain't going to all happen. It happens in little compounding forms of action. Having a positive mindset is the key, man. Like, your mindset is everything. And so the thoughts that you think eventually become beliefs, because when you think about something over and over and over again, it becomes a belief. It's like, for example, if, let's say you were bullied at school. Somebody called you fat or ugly or stupid or dumb over and over and over and over and over and over again. And it happened for like 3, 4, 5 years while you were young. And so what happens over time is that because of those experiences, maybe it was at home, maybe your dad or your mum or your guardian was very hard on you. It was never good enough. No matter what marks you got, you always had to do better. You have to strive for better. Never good enough. You never got the love or attention. So what were you left with? You were left with feeling worthless. So those experiences create those thoughts in your mind of worthlessness and feeling not enough, and I'm dumb, I'm stupid. Over time, eventually, without you even doing it, it's because of the experiences, you've created these beliefs about yourself of who you are. And so to add on to that is just this negative information, right? And so why would you go and live your dreams? Why would you go and believe in yourself? Why would you go and do stuff you've never done before when you have so much self-doubt? And so again, it's the way you think. It's how you believe. It's understanding how your mind works. A thought over a thought over a thought. Think, right? That's why your words are very powerful. Just like someone can tell you, okay, listen to this. Someone can tell you, are you listening? Listen. Someone can tell you are a piece of shit. Right? Or I like this one the best. You're in a toxic relationship and the person that you're with says, you'll never find someone better than me. You'll never find someone that will love you the way that I love you and that will give you what I've given you. So they try to scare you so you don't leave, right? And you hear that over and over and over and over and over again. And guess what happens? Then you believe it and you go, yeah, you know what? He's probably right. I better not go anywhere because, I'll never find someone else. So there's a belief. You created the belief. So it works the same way, guys. You have the power to create your own beliefs about yourself. And how you do that is the same way as how it happened to you in a negative way. How did it happen? Somebody told you that you're not good enough, that you're stupid, that you're ugly. Well, now it's time for you to tell you that you're not. Tell yourself that you're beautiful. Tell yourself that you're the shit. Tell yourself that you're amazing. Tell yourself that you're absolutely extraordinary. Tell yourself that you're unstoppable. Tell yourself that you're unbreakable, unshakable. Nothing can get in your way. You're freaking amazing. You made it this far. You made it through the storm. You made it through so much shit and you're still here. Wow, I'm so proud of myself. Come on. And you repeat that and do what the fuck everybody else did and whatever happened to you in the past that was negative, that programmed your mind to be shit, negative self-doubt, thinking you're not good enough for so many years. And now you'll wonder, how do I change? It was like repetition is the mother of skill. Repeat to yourself every single day, I'm the best. I'm amazing. I can do this shit. Nothing's going to stop me. But you got to counter that with action. Don't be ignorant and naive and say shit like that, but don't change. Don't do things that are out of your comfort zone. Don't change your job or your relationship or whatever it is in your life that you've been doing so far that's causing you to live in dysfunction or disconnection or unhappiness. But you're there every single day saying, oh, I'm amazing, I'm the shit, I'm the best. But you're not changing anything. Be conscious of that. Be conscious of the environment, the people that you surround yourself with. You can start doing these positive affirmations, speaking to yourself, right? Being your own best friend, having your own back, talking to yourself and programming your mind in a positive way, but you're still surrounding yourself with idiots, still surrounding yourself with negative people, still surrounding yourself with people that maybe aren't going in your direction, still surrounding yourself with people that might be not as ambitious as you, still surrounding yourself with people who just are not on your frequency, that don't think like you. A lot can change if you decide to say yes. A lot can change, man. And I have no regrets. I may have done things in the past that I'm not proud of. I practice self-forgiveness. I forgive myself all the time if I feel like there's something that I did in the past that was wrong, that went against my morals, that went against love, unconditional love. When you have unconditional love, you project into the world, into the stratosphere, into the atmosphere, into this galaxy, only good energy. And what you put out comes back. And when you work and function from unconditional love, you attract unconditional love. That's the shit. That's the vibration you want to be on. It's extraordinary. That's why I'm telling you, man. You come on a call with me because you want to work with me and do my program. I'm going to tell you that the secret to success is to love yourself, man. Because self-love and love, the emotion, is the highest frequency, man. Once you have that strong, powerful relationship with yourself, you are unstoppable, man. You have peace. You have peace here, right? You go and look for shit, looking for happiness. You ain't going to find it. It's right here. It's here. You know, you ain't going to find it in a car. You ain't going to find it in a new watch, in a handbag, new shoes. It's right here. And that's why the truth is that you have all the answers, right? You have all the answers within yourself. And you can even ask yourself 150,000%. Okay? I bet you if you sit here just for a moment and ask yourself the question, what do I need right now? What do I need? I bet you that you've got the answer. You already know. I bet you have the answer. What do I need right now? I need to change my environment. I need to change the people I'm surrounding myself with. I need to change my job. I need to change. What do you need to change? You need to move to another country. What do you need to change? Something's bothering you. Something's disturbing your peace. Something's put you in the situation where you're at right now and maybe you're struggling. And what do you need? Maybe what you need is a bit of courage. You want some courage? Ask for it. I'm going to ask myself for some courage right now because I'm going through a lot. I'm going to push myself. You will figure this out. And if you keep listening to the Luke Mind Power podcast, we are going to win together because, we're family. I don't see or feel your body. We're all connected on a soul level. This is energy, man. This is deeper than that shit. Deeper than what they've programmed us to be. They've programmed us to be judgmental, not loving, hateful, spiteful, comparing yourself to others, jealous. When you were born, what were you? Unconditional love. As you evolve, you go through all these fucked up experiences and shit. and then you lose yourself. So that's why your divine assignment is marked already. And your job is to say yes and come home. Come home to loving yourself. Come home to unconditional love. Come home so that you can hear your soul when it speaks, so that you can go in the right direction. Because you don't need to have it all figured out. I don't. I'm taking it one day at a time. I'm taking action. I'm trusting myself. I'm doing exactly what feels right. It's the same thing with the people in your life, man. If it feels in alignment, if it feels right, keep these people in your life. But if it doesn't feel right, let them go. If it doesn't feel in alignment, don't force things. One thing I'm learning as well is not to force stuff. Don't need to force it. If it's not meant to happen, I'm not going to force you to do shit. If it's not meant to work out, it's okay. Maybe it'll work out in the future. What flows, flows. And what crashes, crash it. Let it crash. It's not meant to work, it's okay. Keep moving. Don't get stuck and fixated on something that you thought was going to work that hasn't. Let it go. There's something better up ahead for you. But you got to have faith and trust and know it's all part of the greater plan. It's all part of the purpose of your life. Things were not meant to work out the way that they did because you have such a greater calling, and there were experiences and things that you didn't have control over that took you in a direction that you weren't aware that was maybe the right direction, but the lesson that you were meant to learn. Because even the right direction can be the wrong direction. The right direction hurts you. It was the right direction because you needed to be hurt. You're in the right direction. You went the right way. Don't sit there and think, oh my God, I'm such a idiot. Why did I do that? Why did I go into this relationship? Why did I turn right and go into this part of my life? Why did I do that? Why? And sit there and be really angry and upset with yourself. It's like, no, this is actually, you're supposed to go there. You are supposed to be where you are. You were supposed to learn this lesson. It's so important. It's part of your success, building your character. You will not be able to manage the massive abundance that you're attracting that's going to manifest in your life if you don't go through what you're going through right now. This is the shit. This is exactly what's necessary. It's fueling you, it's challenging you, it's uncomfortable, and that's where we grow. We don't grow when it's comfortable, when it's nice and easy. It's all good. That's not where you grow. You know, I am getting prepared for my first live event in Laguna Beach in California in September, end of September. If you're listening to this, you better be there, especially if you're in California. No excuses. The tickets, the links will be in the show notes. I have to prepare for this experience because this will be out of my comfort zone, but that's where I will grow. Isn't that amazing? That's where I'll build more self-confidence. Wow. And I was talking to some of my members who are in my Speak and Transform program, and I was sharing about this journey, about me being on stage. Is there fear? Is there doubt? Of course. But who I've become because of the journey I've been on, because I've continued to stay consistent and take action and believe in myself, I'm going to crush the shit out of that event. I don't have space for fear and doubt. Of course, the old version of me, the insecure version of me, the inner child of me is nervous, is a bit scared, but my alter ego, Luke Mindpower, he's got shit covered. He's going to back up and he's going to be like, hey, man, I know you're nervous. I know you're feeling a bit doubtful. Your old mindset is still there from the past of thinking that you're not capable, thinking you're not good enough, thinking about people going to judge you, thinking about making mistakes, thinking that you're not intelligent enough. That's all there. But when you're fucking with Luke Mindpower, we're good. I got my own back, right? And so it is about taking action. And this is something that I manifested. That's actually somebody that I did an interview with, Suzanne Adams. And I did an interview with her on the podcast last year. in 2022. I think it was mid last year. And she's been watching me. And that's what I'm saying, man. You don't know who's watching. You don't know who's observing your growth. You don't know who you're going to connect with because you keep taking action. And so she reached out to me and she's like, Luke, how would you like to speak at my event? I'm like, shit. Yeah, bro. I don't have no freaking time to sit here and go, I wonder if I can do it. Would I be able, do you reckon I could do it? Oh, really? It's like, yeah, man, let's go. What do you think I've been showing up for the whole time? Well, I keep saying I'm a motivational speaker and I've been doing this and I want to be speaking on stage in front of 10, 20,000 people. And now I get an opportunity and I'm going to go, oh, I'm scared. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I'm going to be good enough. Goff, man. Tell those self-doubt and that fear and that conversation in your head to piss off. And that's how you got to be when you're starting your journey as well, right? You're going to start something that you've never done before. You're going to start something unfamiliar, start a new venture, start a new relationship, start a new journey of solitude or getting to know yourself a little bit more, spending more time with yourself. What does that require? Something that's different that you've never done before. And there's going to be a doubt. There's going to be fear, right? For example, if you've always been around people, this is something that's very common. I've learned from a lot of my clients that I've worked with is there is this fear of being alone. And why? Because we're so used to being surrounded by people and also being dependent on other people for our own happiness. I am not happy unless I have a relationship. I'm not happy unless I'm around people. I can't be alone. What does that mean? What does that show? That just shows that you're insecure, that you're not strong on your own, that you are afraid of yourself. And if you think about that, I'm afraid of myself. I have to live with me for the rest of my life, and I'm afraid of me. Knock yourself over. You're afraid of yourself. That should be motivating the shit out of you for you to go, Luke, help me love myself so I can enjoy my own company so that I can always feel good about me when I'm by myself, when I'm with myself. And the truth is you're never alone because you are someone. You're not nothing. So when you enjoy your own company, when you learn to have a relationship with yourself, man, you're never alone. You should be inspired and motivated. If you're living in fear of the fear of being alone, you should be motivated to learn to love yourself because that's where you'll find your inner peace because it's in you, but you've got to practice it. You've got to learn it and you've got to develop it. And that's why I'm here. So if that's what you want, send me a direct message on Instagram and just write, I want inner peace. Simple as that. Send me a direct message on Instagram and just write, I want inner peace. And I'll give you the next steps on how you can get started. But this is the process of understanding that you have to start if you want change. You have to start. You got to get out of your own way. You got to stop being a roadblock and know that whatever you feel is blocking you is just a speed hump. You just got to drive over it. As long as I like me, I love me, that's the most important. Because I'm not dependent, I'm not codependent, okay? I'm not dependent on your validation for me to feel good enough, or my parents, or my sisters, or my friends. I'm going to wait, just as ridiculous as this may sound, I'm going to wait for you before I can be happy. Sound good? Yeah. Well, I'm going to wait for you to send me a letter. What are you going to send me a letter? Or I'm waiting for you to send me a direct message on Instagram and go, oh, Luke, I like you. You're good. Oh, shit, man. I've been waiting for so long. Thank you so much for coming telling me that I'm good or that you like me. Now I can go and live my dreams because you sent me a message to say that you like me. I'm serious, man. Stupid. Honestly. Like, wake up to yourself, man. You're better than that. You don't need anyone's approval. The only approval you need is yourself, man. You need to show up for yourself. You need to take some freaking action, get off your ass and start doing the work. And that's all I'm here to do. And if that's what you want, then you should be reaching out to me and you say, Luke, I'm done. I've had enough. I want to grow. I don't want to be in my own way anymore. I want to love the shit out of myself. And one of the beautiful statements that I say now is because I've gone through this experience over the last couple of years of watching all my clients grow and transform their lives. And basically what I've learned is that because it's such a process of building a strong, loving relationship with yourself, what you really do is you love yourself out of your trauma, out of your shame, your insecurities, your doubts, your fears, all that stuff that you're carrying. It can't coexist with love, self-love. You can't carry pain and trauma but love the shit out of yourself, love yourself so much. You can't. So that's why I say you love yourself out of that, because you love yourself so much that you realize that I can't, this doesn't benefit me. I say surround yourself with a positive environment. You're the environment as well. Your body is an environment. How can you keep a peaceful environment when you're holding on to a lot of pain, a lot of shame, a lot of fear? It's a no-brainer. That's why your love is like, if you can imagine what you do during this process of building a strong, loving relationship with yourself, is you are pouring this beautiful white, let's just say it's paint, okay? You're pouring these white buckets of paint all over you, okay? And what it's doing is you've got a lot of black pain. It's black in your body. And what this white paint is doing is like going into all the cracks and crevices, and it's slowly, it will start to take over that blackness, and then everything will be white. And that's the power of learning to love yourself, because you let go of your insecurities, you let go of your shame, your pain, you learn to get strength, courage to love yourself enough to speak your truth. You know, I always say that everything that you reveal, you heal. Right? When you do reveal it, you also feel it, because you can't talk about shit and not feel the pain. You can't think about memories and stuff that you've been through in the past that hurts and not feel it. You do feel it. Because in order for you to heal, you have to feel. So the more that you do that, the more you liberate yourself, because you no longer are starting a war with yourself. Every time you don't speak your truth, you're starting a war with yourself, because you're holding it in. There's something that you need to say. It's not a coincidence that it may sound cliche, but the truth will set you free. And the truth hurts, but it will set you free. And so you have to ask yourself the question, how much do I want it? How much do I want my freedom? How much do I want peace? Because everything that you express, you no longer suppress. And that's why I keep healing and I keep growing, because I keep speaking. Communication is the birthplace of your next level of life. And as long as you play small and keep being quiet and not showing up and standing up for what you believe in and what your soul is calling you to do, you will continue to face the brick wall that is in front of you, that you believe is in front of you, when really it's just a speed hump. 5 years later, I'm traveling to California in September to speak on a stage. And there's only 200 tickets, guys. So if you want to be there, then I would invite you to click the link. If you go on all my Instagram platforms right now, if you're watching live and you want to go to this event and you want to be there and you want to meet me and stuff, see me on stage, then you can go on Instagram or on Facebook. The links are in all my profiles. And it's the Quantum Success Summit, Leadership Summit, with Suzanne Adams. She is a TEDx speaker. She's been featured on NBC and other major freaking advertising or telecommunication platforms. And she's freaking powerful, man. Like, I'll be honest, I didn't know how powerful she was, you know. And I just did an interview with her last year on my podcast. I think her team reached out to me. They're like, do you want to interview? And yeah, she just finished writing her book, Quantum Success Secrets or something like that. And yeah, I was just like, I don't know who this Suzanne is, but you know, let's do the interview. And that's why I say that, you know, the right people will come into your life. And that's why the other thing that I always say is, you know, don't chase, attract, but don't be ignorant as well. You know, if the opportunity doesn't come, don't be like, oh, well, you know, it hasn't happened for me yet, so I'm just going to keep going. It's like, if it doesn't happen for you, go and create it. You know, like I'm definitely, for everyone who's in Australia, because I'm probably moving somewhere else. And I'm definitely going to do an event in Australia. So just hold your horses, because I saw so many people writing on the thing. They're like, come to Melbourne, come to Brisbane, come to Sydney, come to Perth, you know? And I'm freaking from Australia. You think I'm not going to do an event in Australia before the end of 2023. You're kidding yourself. So hold your horses, please. and I will create something, because I want to meet you guys, man. I want to be around you. I want you to feel the energy and the power of the presentation and the stage and the energy. It's going to be freaking next level shit. Okay. So just rest assured that if you are in Australia, there will be an event at the end of this year somewhere. So I will let you know. But if you're in California, North America, and you want to come and see me live at the Quantum Success Leadership Summit on the 27th and 28th of September, then the links are in my Instagram profiles and also in the show notes of this episode as well. All right. So guys, thank you so much for spending some time with me today, some more precious time. You know, this is, you know, your conscious intention of like, what am I doing? Where am I spending my time? How am I investing my time? How am I investing my life into helping me grow, become better? What am I doing every single day? Because everything you do compounds. You're the one that's in control of that. And so it's really up to you every single day, because what you do today helps you become who you want to become. And it all compounds over time. 5 years later, I'm doing this and I could... Have I been delayed? Am I meant to have been on stage earlier? Nah. The timing is perfect. I'm in my element, man. I'm in my power. I'm ready for that shit. And all I want you to know is that what you're going to witness over the next couple of years with the rise of Luke Mind Power and seeing me on stage is nothing less than massive success. But with massive success comes massive responsibility. With massive responsibility comes a responsibility to make sure that I play my part in helping as many people as I can. It's not about me becoming massively successful but not making a positive impact in this world and helping other people. That's my purpose. Okay? And with whatever it is that I'm doing, it's going to be inspirational. It's going to be motivational. It's about leadership. It's about being the example. It's about going against the grain. It's about not conforming and not trying to fit in and doing what you believe in and being authentic. And most importantly, coming from a place of unconditional love. And I'll keep doing that. But the truth is, there's things that I'm going to say, there's things that I'm going to do that still, even if I believe that I'm coming from a place of unconditional love, people will still judge me. People will still criticize me. So no matter what you throw at me, no matter what you say, I'll agree with you. Because again, one of the 4 agreements is don't take things personally. Your thoughts and opinions of how I dress or what I look like or what I should do or how I speak is exactly that. Yours, not mine, yours. So why would I take on that and then change myself because that's your thinking, your beliefs, what you think I should do? It won't. My job is to stay in alignment with my soul's purpose, with who it is that I am and what I believe I am, and to always come from a place of unconditional love. And for me, this is unconditional love. So no matter what you say that may be in disagreement to what I'm putting out there, I'm with you. Isn't that amazing? It's so powerful. I feel so peaceful because I'm not here to challenge you. I'm not here to tell you how you need to live. I'm not here to change you. I'm just here to show you what's possible when you do love yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you show up for yourself. I'm here to invite you to be yourself, to be authentic. And in being authentic, you will lose people. I know it. If you're listening to this right now and all of a sudden you started showing up as the real you, people will be like, what? What do you mean? Why? Why are you doing that for? And you'll be like, because I've been living a lie. I'm not doing this anymore. This is bullshit. I'm not living like this anymore. I'm not thinking like this anymore. You guys want me to be a specific way. I'm not going to be like that anymore. And I'm telling you, man, you'll lose people. But guess what? In losing others, you'll gain the most important person in your life. And that's you. If you enjoyed this episode, do me a huge favor. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. And leave me a freaking amazing review. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you're doing. What are you working on? Tell me your goals and shit, man. Because I want to know. I want to connect with you. So if you're watching on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed this as well. Remember, it's a blessing to be alive. And I'll see you on the next episode, all right? Keep crushing it. Let's go, baby.